Mhm. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What's everybody doing? I hope you're doing fine. Doing fine. And if I'm fine and you're fine, then the world's a fine place. I know I got on my Kango hat today because, um, it looks good. Gray hair and a black hat looks good. Kango looks good. I'm getting in touch with my blackness today. I just want to let you know that. Okay, I am. Now we got a lot of things to talk about today because I'm feeling pretty good. It's good to be on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of me. Okay, I appreciate that. I tell the Lord that every day when I get up. So the first thing you should do this morning is thank the good Lord for one more day on top of this ground. And this ground is not on top of you. Good morning. The weather is okay today. It's getting cooler. I can feel autumn. I can feel autumn in the I can feel autumn in the atmosphere here. Okay. Yeah. Because it is August, which means autumn. So that's what it means, I guess. But good morning to you. Believe it or not, it is the 5th day of August, 2025. It is a day that it's never been, and it is a day that once it is gone, you will never see it again. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and once it's over, well, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and undo all the things that you do today. And you certainly don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done with this day. Good morning. I hope this day finds you well, finds you feeling blessed. I hope your health is okay. I hope everything is all right. But remember, again, it is always great to be on top of the ground rather than the ground on top of you. Next up, it is our daily bread. Right after this, a word from on high. Our daily bread, because we all need to be fed, don't we? We surely do. So hang loose. We'll be back in a few minutes here, because this is the most important part of the show. Our daily bread, something to think about. A word from on high. We'll be back.
The Lord never lets us out of His sight.
Our daily bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Dave Brannon. No matter where the athletes of the 2016 Olympics go in the city of Rio de Janeiro, they can see Jesus. Standing high above this Brazilian city and anchored to a 2,300-foot-high mountain called Corcovado is a 100-foot-tall sculpture called Cristo Redentor, Christ the Redeemer. With arms spread wide, this massive figure is visible day and night from almost anywhere in the sprawling city. As comforting as this iconic concrete and soapstone sculpture may be to all who can look up and see it, there is a much greater comfort from this reality. The real Jesus sees us. In Psalm 34, David explained it like this: "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are attentive to their cry." He noted that when the righteous call out for His help, the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Just who are the righteous? Those of us who place our trust in Jesus Christ, who Himself is our righteousness. Our God oversees our lives, and He hears the cries of those who trust Him. He is near to help in our greatest times of need. Jesus has His eyes on you.
Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Psalm 34, verses 15 through 22. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to blot out their name from the earth. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and saves those who are crushed in spirit. The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. He protects all his bones, not one of them will be broken. Evil will slay the wicked. The foes of the righteous will be condemned. The Lord will rescue his servants. No one who takes refuge in him will be condemned. That's today's scripture reading from Psalm 34, verses 15 through 22.
Let's pray. Sometimes, Lord, life seems out of control, and I don't know exactly which direction to take. Thank you for overseeing my life and prompting me in the right way through your word and your spirit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Well,
The Lord never let
time to rise and shine this morning, folks. It is the first day of school in the city of Montgomery. I guess all over Alabama. It's first day of school. I think they treating it. I think we are cheating the kids though. They didn't really get 90 days out of school. I mean, what they got 63 or something like that. I mean, school was out on the 22nd of May, June, July. Oh, okay, so they got. Okay, they may have gotten 60 days, 62 or 63 days, something like that. Okay, but then again, at least if they're in school, they know where we know where they are, right? We know where they are, okay? Now, let us pay homage to our armed forces of these United States, because if it were not for them, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, even all the way down to the 21st Amendment, wouldn't mean a thing if somebody wasn't ready to defend them. And these young men who wear that uniform, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and now who, am I missing somebody? Am I missing somebody? I know I'm missing somebody. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. Okay. Just checking my memory up there to make sure it's still with me. Okay, and it's with me for the time being. Anyway, good morning to all of you guys. Okay, so let us pay homage to our armed forces, the United States of America. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine.
Shout, counter marching all about, and those big stars were rolling along. For it's high, high in the field artillery. Count out the numbers, loud and strong. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And wherever you go, you will always know that those big stars were rolling along.
And of course, not last and not least, it is the United States Air Force. Montgomery is an Air Force town. Hey, what can I tell you? That's the way it goes. All righty then. I got it. We good. Yeah, we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. Okay, man. I love them, but not that much. Anyway, good morning to everybody. Did I ever tell you guys a story about me and let me turn the camera back on here. Okay. Did I ever tell you guys about the story me and the Marine Corps? Okay, I won't bother you with I won't be laborious with the details today. But one of these mornings, I got to tell this. See, I tell this story every once in a while because I was almost a Marine. Almost. Now, no, I did not become I did not become a Marine because I was a wuss, scared, couldn't make it. Nope. They denied me one of the most precious things that a soldier could have because they said I was too short. Okay, at that particular time. Now, hopefully they've changed the policies, but I'll tell you that story some other day. Good morning to you. A lot of things to talk about today. We this city council meeting tonight. Again, today is the first day of school for people. So I'm gonna send you away for a few minutes. You're going to listen to a young lady named Rita Pierce. She has since passed on the last couple of years, but she's a fantastic teacher. And I really wish all the teachers once a year, every year, could hear this because sometimes you get tired of that job. Sometimes you get tired of people coming to school smelling. Sometimes you get tired of people coming to school hungry. Sometimes you get tired of them coming to school undisciplined. The headaches. Sometimes you get tired of spending your own money when to buy things that their parents ought to buy. I feel you. But you do it anyway. You do it anyway. You get up every morning and you come to work, not knowing what the day holds for you, what somebody's child holds you. You are the closest thing to a parent that some of these kids have. As a matter of fact, you're probably closer than a lot of their own parents. And so we want to thank you for what you teachers do. It is well, one thing about it, everybody in this country that reads or writes, besides their parent, has one thing in common. Every last one of us had a teacher. And most of us can remember the teacher that made the greatest impression upon us. And I will never forget this woman. I don't care what anybody says. I can be old. I can be 90 years old. I'll remember. And I'm pretty sure all of you have a teacher that you remember. Mine, Mrs. Deerdorf. Mrs. Deerdorf hit me in the mouth one time, told me I talk too much. So, where's she at now? I don't know where she is now, but she's probably gone. But she was about 60 or something when I was there in school in 1968, 69, somewhere around there. But anyway, Mrs. Deerdorf, I want you to think back for a second. Think back for a second while you listen to this. Who was the teacher in your life? And put it in our comments. Who was the teacher in your life that you will never, ever forget? We'll be back. Every child needs a champion. We'll be back.
I have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding relationships. Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher or an adult. For years, I have watched people teach. I have looked at the best and I've looked at some of the worst. A colleague said to me one time, they don't pay me to like the kids. They pay me to teach a lesson. The kids should learn it. I should teach it. They should learn it. Case closed. Well, I said to her, you know, kids don't learn from people they don't like. She said, that's just a bunch of hooey. And I said to her, well, your year is going to be long and arduous, dear. Needless to say, it was. Some people think that you can either have it in you to build a relationship or you don't. I think Stephen Covey had the right idea. He said you ought to just throw in a few simple things, like seeking first to understand as opposed to being understood. Simple things like apologizing. You ever thought about that? Tell a kid you're sorry, they're in shock. I taught a lesson once on ratios. I'm not real good with math, but I was working on it. And I got back and looked at that teacher edition. I taught the whole lesson wrong. So I came back to class the next day and I said, look, guys, I need to apologize. I taught the whole lesson wrong. I'm so sorry. They said, that's okay, Miss Pearson. You were so excited. We just let you go. I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class because I am the best teacher and you are the best students. They put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise. You just have to strut. And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right. You didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, minus 18 sucks all the life out of you. Plus 2 said, I ain't all bad. For years, I watched my mother take the time at recess to review, go on home visits in the afternoon, buy combs and brushes and peanut butter and crackers to put in her desk drawer for kids that needed to eat, and a washcloth and some soap for the kids who didn't smell so good. See, it's hard to teach kids who stink. And kids can be cruel. And so she kept those things in her desk, and years later, after she retired, I watched some of those same kids come through and say to her, you know, Miss Walker, you made a difference in my life. You made it work for me. You made me feel like I was somebody when I knew at the bottom I wasn't. And I want you to just see what I've become. And when my mama died 2 years ago at 92, there were so many former students at her funeral. It brought tears to my eyes, not because she was gone, but because she left a legacy of relationships that could never disappear. Can we stand to have more relationships? Absolutely. Will you like all your children? Of course not. And you know your toughest kids are never absent. Never. You won't like them all, and the tough ones show up for a reason. It's the connection. It's the relationships. And while you won't like them all, the key is they can never, ever know it. So teachers become great actors and great actresses, and we come to work when we don't feel like it, and we listen to policy that doesn't make sense, and we teach anyway. We teach anyway because that's what we do. Teaching and learning should bring joy. How powerful would our world be if we had kids who were not afraid to take risks, who were not afraid to think, and who had a champion? Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. Is this job tough? You betcha. Oh, God, you betcha. But it is not impossible. We can do this. We're educators. We're born to make a difference. Thank you so much.
Every child needs a champion. Anyway, good morning to all of you. Hope this day finds you well. Let me put myself back in the camera, although nobody really knows what I look like. You can't fix ugly. But what can I tell you? What can I tell you? I'm going to play that one more time for the show's over today, because it is it's an important piece. It's one that, and I know teachers have to motivate themselves, because sometimes I know that job gets rough. But somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it, and we're glad that those teachers do it. Now, I'm a bit critical on education, not on the teachers. Teachers merely do what they're instructed to do by their higher ups in their chain of command. I will say one thing: the philosophy of teaching has certainly. I'm not a teacher. Well, yeah, sort of I am too. Yeah, kind of. I mean, everybody's a teacher of sorts. I taught young soldiers. I've taught in a couple of a school or two in the military. The short time I was there, so I guess I am a teacher, but not a public education teacher. I'm not. I'm just a regular guy. But we all teach. We all teach. I just don't like the way that the rules that come down. I mean, they had this thing called zero tolerance, where if a kid hit you, now if the kid hit you, you get suspended along with the kid that hit you, which is a dumbass rule. Okay. First of all, if a kid, when we got hit, when America got hit on 911, okay, 911, we went out and kicked butt. Okay, we didn't set that time. Oh, we're gonna send you home. No. No, you hurt us, we're gonna hurt you. And everybody has okay, everybody has um the freedom and the responsibility to protect themselves. Okay. So I'm thinking, so what's up with that? So why is it that we want to send our kids home for doing exactly what this nation did when we got popped in the jaw in 911, when we got hit in the jaw in December the 1st, 1941, December the 7th, 1941, I think, or when they hit Pearl Harbor. Why do we go to Vietnam? Why do we go to Grenada? Why do we go to all these countries in Korea if we weren't trying to protect ourselves from encroachment? Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, absolutely. So I believe that some of the rules in school absolutely suck. And you know the one thing that we will not do in public school, we will not do it, and it is, and now we are seeing the effects of it. And some of these things, it's going to take another generation of kids to turn them around. Okay, the lack of discipline. Yeah, we know that the first responsibility is to of discipline is to the parents. Let's just face it. We got parents right now who are scared of their own kids, who are scared that they're gonna pick up the phone, call 911, and even if they're lying, even if the kids are lying, 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 even if they're lying, they're gonna send somebody out to your house and investigate. Okay, they're going to send somebody to investigate. So I've seen people who get people that went to their jobs and said, we need to have a conversation because your child said this. And Lord have mercy, don't go to school with a little wep on your arm or wep on your back or something like that. Where you got a little wood is where it's good. Um, Now I don't believe in abusing. I do not believe in abusing your kids. I don't believe in hitting your kids in the face and on the head and with anything you can find. Because now in the hood, I got to tell you, in the hood there was pride. There was pride in knocking the hell out of your kids. I never ever felt that way. Yeah, let's put a little wood on that booty, and that's good. But there was pride in the hood about how bad you could beat your kids sometime, and I just that was never my philosophy. My philosophy is though, and if you ever do have to spank them, you hug them after you do it, so they know that it was for their good and not your good that you're trying to get their attention. Okay, I'm just saying. So today being the first day of school, so who was the first teacher? Who's one of the teachers in your life that you remember? Write it in the comments. Mine was Mrs. Deerdorf. Mrs. Deerdorf. Um, was a teacher I will never ever forget as long as I live, which I know it ain't a whole lot of time left, but I won't forget her until that time. She made an impression on me, and a very good one, especially when she hit me in the mouth. Now my mother congratulated her because even then I talked too much. I apologize, But in the future though, if you get a child that talks too much, see whether or not he can get a job on the radio. Okay, therefore he can get paid to talk like Big E here. Okay, so I'm just saying you might want to do that. So who is the teacher that you will never ever forget? Please put them in there. And there's some local teachers, even if you're not from Montgomery, local teachers, because what we need to do sometimes. Somebody once said, now one of the teachers here, she was not my teacher, but she has been one of the most beloved teachers that I have heard about since I have been here, and there have been plenty. But Mrs. Mary Briers, who evidently was a fantastic teacher in our public school thing. I know she was old Cloverdale, some place like that, and we salute her today along with all the other teachers. There's so many of them in town. Then there was a math teacher, Squirrel Thomas, who used to be a teacher. You see, you don't forget the ones who sacrifice. You don't forget the ones who even at the time you don't think they treated you right, but you know in your heart that they did. You know in your heart that they cared about you, and if they ever disciplined you, they disciplined you because it was necessary. Because let me tell you who don't care about you. That's the prison system. Okay, they don't care about you. Oh no, they don't want you. Yes, I told you, Doctor Joe, I was gonna play it again, and on the end of the show today, we're gonna play it one more time because oh yeah, and Doctor Joe was a teacher too. Evidently a pretty good one also, and I salute him also. Even though he don't like hearing my every child needs a champion, but it's true. It is true. Everybody needs somebody to look up to. They do. Everybody needs somebody to look up to. And teachers, besides our parents, teachers are the most important thing. I mean, and we look at the policemen too. We like to look up to them, not because they got us on the ground, but because we respect the position. But if you do a good enough job teaching, oh, is that my guest coming up? That's my guest coming. Okay, we'll get back to this one later on. Okay, because I got a guest. Okay, I got a guest coming on, and he's waiting in the background there. Mr. Joe Reed, attorney at law. Forgot he was coming up. We're gonna finish this teacher thing next hour though. Okay, but right now.
You can finish that now.
Hey, Joe, who was out of all the teachers you've had outside of college? Who do you remember? Can't think of.
Okay, I hear you. I didn't hear anything you just said.
Okay, out of all the teachers you've had outside of college, who do you remember most in Montgomery? See, you got on those things on your ear. You can't hear me.
You know,
Okay.
when you talk, it goes out.
Well, that's your side, not my side. You need to get. I know you got them nice little things on your ears, but you gotta put some headphones on, or because I can hear you well.
I just heard what you said, but I didn't hear.
Okay. Do you have any wired headphones? Okay. Yeah. Use the real ones, brother. That's right. Use the real headphones. Okay. Do. That's Joe Reed.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. I said, out of all the teachers you've had outside of college, can you remember one in Montgomery that you will never forget?
Wow. Yeah, there are quite a few. And it's not one.
Wow.
Miss
Give me a
Falk.
couple.
Wow, Selena Long taught me when I was at school at Alabama State University. Alabama State University used to have something called like a lab school. We went like nursery through third grade over there. While my parents were working at ASU, Selena Long was my teacher. Very, very, I would say, brilliant lady, smart lady. Did a lot for me. She was a second mom for a lot of us who were in school. And this is people who, a lot of our parents, worked at Alabama State, were affiliated with ASU, and were graduates, of course, of ASU, because a lot of folks were not allowed to go to Alabama and Auburn, of course, times when they grew up. So we were in school. The children were in school at ASU, and so Selena Long was an incredible teacher, smart, patient, kind, disciplined, you name it, she did it. She was one. I would say my fourth grade teacher, Miss Falk, taught my sister at Forest Avenue School because I went to ASU, Forest Avenue, Cloverdale, and Jeff Davis. And thinking in the 10th grade when I got to high school, more teachers, all of them I thought were really good. Miss Barnes was good. Mr. Gilchrist taught me chemistry. We were in his class when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded. I remember when he brought the news to us, and how calmly. One thing I remember Mr. Gilchrist, how direct and calm he was when he brought that news to us. He just walked in, solemn face, and said, "Space shuttle just blew up." And I think at that age, at 15, getting bad news of that magnitude, I don't think we'd had that. I remember when President Reagan got shot, but he didn't die. That was sixth grade, 1981, I believe. Remember that. But you know, all these teachers were parents away from home. We had a lot of respect for them. There are always a few kids here and there who were, you know, a little rowdy now and then, but they were just really good teachers. But high school, um, and I'll say this, Mr. Browning. Anybody who went to Jeff Davis in the 80s knew Mr. Browning. He had this picture, which you can probably find, Kevin, where I remember a kid said that he looked like Jesus and the devil in the same moment.
Really?
Right? Yeah, Jesus and the devil in the same moment. But Mr. Browning taught us, I think it was AP English, but he was brutal. And when I say brutal, I mean you thought you wrote something well because you're in the 11th, 12th grade, and Browning would turn what you thought was an A into a C minus quickly. But he was good. He was really, really good, really, really smart, challenging and intimidating at the same time, but fair. But I owe a lot of my writing skills to him. He's the first one to taught me. I didn't really learn to write when I got to law school. I learned how to write through Mr. Browning and through
Hmm.
taking a few beatings on a few tests in his class. But my sister had him, my brother had him. If you went to JD, like I said, you had him. I mean, you were, writing and research, or what was it called? I said AP English and something else, but yeah,
Hmm.
Mr. Browning was really good. So those are the people, like I said, I remember. College is a little bit more different, but
Right,
um,
right. Well,
Browning was
anyway,
good.
uh, for those who do not know, this is Joe Reed. He's an accomplished, a very great attorney here in the city of Montgomery. Also, that Reed name, well, is if it has a familiarity to it, it ought to. He is part of the Reed uh, clan. Well, I better not use that word. He's part of the Reed family, and the mayor, of course, is his brother. And the matter of fact, the mayor will be on tomorrow. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, around 8 o'clock or so. Um, but Joe and I have some philosophical um, um, differences, but not personal differences. We have been able to agree to disagree on some things, but he not only is he an attorney, you are also the head of the DNC or something like that here in Montgomery.
No, I am delegate. Well, I'm a member of the National Democratic Committee from Alabama now, but I'm just chairman of the Montgomery County Democratic Conference, which is the
Okay,
African American caucus of the
okay,
Democratic Party here.
okay. Um, one thing, why is it that black folk don't think they're white Democrats? And there
I
are
don't
plenty
think
of them.
I don't think black people think that. I don't think black people think that. So I can't agree. I can't agree with about that. All you got to do is, I mean, look around. I mean,
Well, that's true. There was our protesting this weekend at the state house. What do they call it? It's a 501. There's some lib group that wants to change the world. I guess I don't know. You have a particular um, thing. You believe that our country is in we should turn the flag upside down because we're in dire straits. Is that an over exaggeration of what I think you feel?
yes, yeah, I think the country. I think we got some real problems. I think we got some. I think we got some. I think we got some real problems. I think we got some problems politically. I think we got some problems legally. I think the political discourse has taken uh, a sharp turn downwards, and it is going to be very difficult to um, to turn this thing around. We're going to need to do it, but if we keep going where we're going, I think the United States and the things that make us American, the things that make us, I think, the example to the world are not going to exist. Um, everybody can't do everything, and how you treat people and the way you do things, like you and I, we disagree. How you behave um, matters. And I think what we've got now, the way our culture is, it's turning. Some might say it's already happened. That's, of course, that's opinion, but it's very, very negative here. And I've got my beliefs and suspicions as to what's causing a lot of it, and even who's causing a lot of it. But I think America's always been a you lead from the top down, and wherever the president is, whoever the president is, that's going to set the tone for where the country is going to go.
You
If you've got
and
people,
you're still a little younger than me. Not a whole lot, not 20 years.
that's not
Yeah, but however, I've heard this propaganda. No matter who the president has been, America's going down. It's over. We can't sustain any more leadership from him. We heard it during Obama. We heard it during the first term of the president there. We heard it during Kennedy. Everybody was afraid that Kennedy was going to take his orders from the Pope. So there's always this exaggerated type of a warning that America's on the way down. And funny thing about it, it hasn't happened yet. So I'm trying to figure out, because we have a clashing of ideology, which is what we're having right now. And let's just say you think you believe who is partly responsible is the president of the United States. And I listen, he has a personality issue sometimes, like we all do. Most of it,
good God.
right. Some of us don't even like our own parents, but we stuck with them. Okay.
That's true.
So we always have this dire. We're gonna turn the flag upside down, a nation in distress. But if it were not for the United States of America and our way of governing, the map of the world will look a lot different. And I don't
I
think
agree.
I don't think we are going to go down the drain. As a matter of fact, I told you that you and I have conversations off air, and then I asked this: what should be the question of everybody in this country who hates Trump, who has this whatever about him? How did we as Americans, pretty smart people, lawyers, doctors, professors, regular people who work in McDonald's, smart people and not so smart people, how did we decide one day a few years ago that we would rather put Donald Trump in office as opposed to and then redo it, as opposed to all the so-called smart people with PhDs and went to Harvard, went to Yale, went to Cornell, went to UC Berkeley, and Stanford. I mean, all these great colleges. How in the world did we make it? I didn't know I had Doug coming on too. Hold on one second. Let me put him on for next hour. Doug, I didn't know you was coming on today.
Well, I didn't know you had big money on there today. Big money.
I know we.
Good morning. How are you doing,
Joe? How they sucker you into coming on the show?
Kevin is like a man who's got two dates at the same time. He forgot which one he asked out first.
He can't remember anything.
But see, I told Doug, I said, Doug, come on at 8:00. See, Doug.
You didn't tell me anytime. I just came on when I thought about it this morning. I told you I was going to come on yesterday, and I forgot.
That's why I forgot, because it ain't yesterday.
I'll call
back. That's what I said, Doug.
Let's talk.
Take care of Joe there. I'll call back at 8:00.
Okay, we'll do that. All right then. Yeah.
See, Kevin, you got him. Says, see, you're like a guy who spread himself to, who's got asking too many people out on a date. So you're that guy who calls 3 women out to see which
not really.
See, yes, you do. And then what happens is you get caught. That's how you get caught, because they all said yes. And now you got to figure out, you're like a sitcom.
Yeah. But he
you got
said
to
he's
figure out
supposed to
what
be.
you're going to do now.
He said he was going to be on yesterday, right? He was supposed to be on yesterday. Okay, he got his days mixed up. That's all. That's all. So anyway, getting back to the president, there's always been who's ever in the White House, whether you like him or not. There's always one day. Let me put it this way: one day I came in front of the city council since the mayor's been in, and I said, there's one thing that is constant in government, especially Montgomery, Alabama, whether it's Emory, Todd, Bobby, Stephen, there's always going to be someone who complains about you and don't like you. That is the only thing that is consistent. So all I ask people, well, articulate to me what makes this guy any worse than anybody else. But you need to answer the question: why did we, as reasonable people, decide we've had enough of the so-called intellectuals and the so-called educated people, and we was willing to take a chance on a guy who never ran anything but his business? Why do you think we got there? That should be the questions on everybody's mind in this country. How did that happen?
I think politics is. I mean, politics. I think is a matter of timing. Timing is everything in politics. I don't care who you are, because people really don't. They are who they are years before and years after. But whether they accept it to the American public for a certain position, whether it's president or as government, particularly like president, timing, timing. If the American public, switches back and forth, the Democrat, Republican, or Independent, just to the two-party system, it goes back and forth. But I think a lot of what you see today goes back even years ago. Years ago, I'm going to say probably sometime into the 90s, and the culture of the 90s. And you probably remember this, Kevin. When we're TV watching people, that's what we do. That's what and what we've watched, we've gone from, Johnny Carson, people who were younger, Johnny Carson, some folks remember that. You remember Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
You remember Ted Koppel, ABC News at night.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then daytime, we went to
I remember Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite, yeah. Cronkite, John Chancellor, right? Remember those guys? We remember the three networks in PBS. We remember that. Well, culture starts to change, and I'll say this. I think culture started to change a lot during the 90s. And I remember when NBA players, none of them had tattoos. Remember, none of them did.
Right.
And then I remember Dennis Rodman got one, got two, three. Then that door opened, and America didn't say or do anything. I mean, it's your own body, do what you want to do. I get that part of it. But the envelope kept getting pushed. In the 80s, we had talk shows. Remember Morton Downey, Kevin?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Morton Downey show? All right.
Mm-hmm.
We had Morton Downey. We had, because there was Phil Donahue, then there was Oprah. Then we had Morton Downey, then we had Ricky Lake, and we started getting more of these tabloid TVs and outrageous behavior. Then we got to reality TV. Turn your TV on now. There's more reality shows than anything. And you got so many, and a lot of this, if shows or it's reality, conduct that I think people would probably not say is exemplary. Okay. It's something to aspire to. Okay. And that just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And so our quote unquote traditional standards have kind of started dissolving. The envelope kept getting pushed. You at one time, the police caught the bad guy, and I would see, bad guys, killing police and appearing not to have appearing to get away with it. And because the TV did a lot with this. And so a lot of barriers and norms were broken down. They just kept getting eroded, kept getting eroded, kept getting eroded. And suddenly we get our first, well, I would say as a president, our first entertainment or celebrity president. Now, you could argue it could have been Reagan because Reagan was in the movies. You could argue that. Okay. Reagan was an actor and governor of California and had a lot of movies. And in fact, there's a little clip of Reagan putting his hands on a woman in a movie, which would not play well today. I saw that on Instagram. Um, but Donald Trump is probably the most modern guy. He took his celebrity status and he parlayed it. And he parlayed it at a point in time where I think there was the traditional, particularly on the Republican side of the fence, your and Republicans have pretty much gone who was next in line. That's kind of how they did it. How, Reagan, and then there was Bush, and then there was, the next Bush. And some people could argue it could have been the third Bush, could have been Jeb, but I think people get tired of that and they wanted something different. I think Americans felt that government wasn't working for them. And so they introduced what I call the Joker into the mix and decided to try this one on for size, and this is and brought reality TV into the White House, and now this is what you've got. And the American presidency is a very serious job, and it's a serious job for serious people. And while we may disagree on certain philosophies of certain things, who you are as a person, what you are as a person, your integrity, your character, your values, your morals, your standards, all this goes into how the country moves. All of it goes. And when things don't go in that way, then you're gonna get a lot of chaos. I think that's what we've got right now. We've got a lot of chaos here. And so to ask, how did it happen? Some people could say it was eventually going to come this way. I'm not sure we're going back to traditional politicians. Uh,
Hmm.
I
Well,
think we're
but you left out the more important thing here, and because Democrats really don't like to talk about this, but I'm gonna go there. The
Democrats or
question,
Republicans. Which one?
no, the question I asked: why do you believe that reasonable people, educated people, far more educated than I, we all believe in this guy who never ran anything. What was it about this guy? Not only once, but twice was voted into the presidency of the United States. And see, I feel I know what the answer is, but Democrats won't say it because they don't want to admit that the policies, the procedures that they have come with has changed the culture of this country to a point where we almost can't get it back. Now you're saying that the president in there now is doing basically the same thing. I'm telling you the reason he is in there because he speaks to the traditional things, that not perfection, but he believes that a man is a man, a woman is a woman. You don't take men and put them in women's sports. Okay, you don't put women in certain military roles. Okay, you don't take people in the military who want to change their sex. Okay, because they're all confused. They are tearing up some of the basic tenements of our society apart. Now, yeah, now that's how come Trump is in there. Economically, Democrats are getting rich as wazoo. They will be. Nancy Pelosi got there worth 70,000, 100,000, whatever she's worth. Now she's worth $200 million because they all cheated on it. They cheated and broke laws that they were they were given the responsibility of adhering to. Okay, so that's the true deal here, and y'all won't admit it. It wasn't that Trump was the best guy running, but he was the best out of all of them. So why is that a problem to deal with?
Well, I don't agree with what you said. So
Of
start
course
with
you
that.
wouldn't. Of course you
I
wouldn't.
think it's a lot more. I think it's simpler. I think it's simpler than that. I think America into things that you said. I think America does not want a woman as president.
Well, that's true we don't.
If,
But
well, let me say this, and that's a big deal.
well, we didn't
That's
want that
that's
woman for sure.
well, let me say, don't want anyone at this point. Don't want anyone. Um, Democrats were able to. I'll go back as far as I won't go back to the first woman to run for president, which I think was Shirley Chisholm, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Um, I won't go back that far, but let's just take it in the modern era. I remember when Geraldine Ferraro was Walter Mondale's running mate, and what a big deal that was. Even though Margaret Thatcher had been prime minister of England, okay, and
I like
Ferraro,
Margaret Thatcher. Actually, I like Margaret.
I I think she was a fine woman. I think she was smart. She was everything. First, let me say this, just because some people don't believe this. You know, they're intellectually, women can do anything men can do. Simply can't. Okay, that's just so. It's not a question of intellect, and not a question of education. It's not a question of that because women are going to school far more than men are. I think women are attaining more higher degrees, I think, than men are. Okay. And we're not an educated country. We've abandoned education. That's another discussion for another day. We've abandoned education. Okay. We're not an educated country. We're not a smart country.
We've abandoned. We have abandoned, from where I sit, the pursuit of excellence in education.
Well,
'Cause see,
yeah. I agree with that. We've totally left that, and the numbers will bear that out, and you can see where we rank, worldwide. So we aren't, I don't have the number in front of me, but so I'm not going to go into you say we're smart, we're all this stuff. We've got somewhat of an educated group of people, but the population as a whole is not because they're duped too often. Okay, into ridiculous notions, and because there's so many rabbit holes to go down that we can step in, and I'm gonna not to try not to do that. But some people don't want to see a woman as president, and they don't care who it is. And and Kevin, you don't want to see a woman president. You told me that on more than one occasion.
I didn't want to see that woman as president. Again, I would vote for Condoleezza Rice because I think Condoleezza has the qualities and the philosophy, the political philosophy that I adhere to more than anything that Clinton
I
or
respect that. I respect
huh?
that. You're saying, Trump's run for president 3 times.
Hmm.
Women have lost both times, and a guy beat him. Maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. But I knew, even talking to a lot of people who said they did not want to see a woman. I won't follow a woman. A woman can't tell me what to do. I remember hearing a lot of that.
Hmm.
Think even when Obama ran, against, I knew when John McCain picked Sarah Palin, I knew he was not going to win that because I remember the talk even about her and about what I call the male talk. Her, how they did not, because they were talking about John McCain's age, and she was one, heartbeat away from the presidency. That was the big talking thing. And
Let me grab this call right quick. Good morning. You're on with Joe.
Hey, good morning, Joe.
good morning.
Yeah, and also Kevin. I would like to say that I agree with Joe. That first election, they didn't want a woman president, and then Hillary had a lot against her. Not many people liked her. The second go around, they didn't want a woman president, especially a woman of color. And Kevin, I will say this: even Condoleezza Rice and this MAGA movement would be too liberal. They would call her a DEI. That's what they would call it. Anybody that's black and qualified with skills like Condoleezza Rice, and I'm with you, Kevin. I would feel comfortable if she was president. But in today's climate, they would call her DEI, and they would do the same thing with Colin Powell. We are in troublesome times right now, Kevin. And I told you in Montel about 15 years ago when they did away with this Section 5 of the Civil Rights, the Voting Rights Act, that we would have this problem. I told you, you and Montel kept telling me, how is it we come too far, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you see they're pulling this shenanigans in Texas. And I just want to say that I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but, we're in the situation we're in, and we just have to figure out a way out of it. I think it's time for Democrats to start fighting the way that they do.
So you're talking about, wait. So you're talking about Texas is going to do the same thing Alabama did to make sure Shamari Figures made it to Congress.
Kevin, it was evident that Alabama had an unfair hand, and it was right. And I'm going to tell you another thing too, Kevin. Every 10 years, you're supposed to make that move. After the census, it dictates the move. They made the move after 5 years because it was politically expedient for Donald Trump.
And what did we do for Shamari Figures to make sure a black Democrat was in there?
Kevin, they waited 10 years and did it according to the census.
Okay, bro.
To the census.
They
And then they went to
gerrymandered.
court.
I like Shamari Figurs. I'm glad he's there.
Kevin,
But they
it wasn't
gerrymandered a
Kevin.
district
They
so he could win, or somebody
Kevin,
black could win.
Kevin, they went to court, and a Trump-appointed Supreme Court agreed that was legal due to the numbers and everything, Kevin.
Okay.
And they tried to pull those shenanigans. But when you have a president that don't respect the Constitution or don't respect the norms or what have you, this is what you get. Texas was only 5 years into the census. And then because it was expedient for Trump, he wanted to go and stack and rig it. So the Democrats said, you know what, gloves off, we're going to do it too.
And again, so let's talk about that Constitution. We had a Supreme Court back in the day, 72, 71, who decided that an issue of privacy means you can have an abortion at will.
Kevin.
That's the same Constitution.
Kevin, see, now you're going back in time. Now you don't want me to go back in time.
That's the same.
You know, because you tell us that was the past. Now, Kevin, your show is not long enough. I just wanted to make those comments.
Okay.
I can defend that and everything, but I won't because you're going to cut me off. But I just wanted to say that it's time for Democrats to go ahead and fight. You know, you're not dealing with a situation where people are.
Well, they got to figure. They got to figure out whether they're male or females first.
Kevin, you remember, Kevin, you go ahead on. I want to listen to some more callers, but I just wanted to say, make my statement.
I appreciate. Okay, then. Somebody cry me a river. Anyway, so much for that.
Well, I mean, I don't think he was wrong in what he said. I mean, you're saying that this was drawn for Shamari Figurs, Kevin. That district is roughly 48%, I think. African American, I think it's 45% white. I think it is 3% other, so it's not, but just not tilted one way or the other. What the court said,
it is tilted because before they reached into places on a map that makes you think that it's a snake river. They did things. If you look at that District 7 map, they grabbed. It's just kind of like Montgomery County. No, I can't put it on the screen.
It's got a bunch of whole counties in there. Okay, Montgomery's whole. People forget Montgomery used to be part of the 7th congressional district, but Montgomery Mobile had been in the same congressional district for quite some time. I think probably up until the 90s. I think.
Listen, you and I would never. Can finish a conversation because we're so.
You change the subject.
Well, that's okay. So we need to do this at least once a week, if you got the time. Once a week.
Well, maybe I want to hear you now once a week.
I got.
You're my friends. I'll talk to you anytime.
Let me get Doug because we got to talk about this thing out there on Birmingham Highway, and if I'm free. We talk long enough. I'll call you back and we'll talk a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Right.
Get my coffee now.
Appreciate it. Get the coffee, yeah, and put some sugar in it. Make it sweet.
I will.
All right then. Okay. I get now. Who we got joining us now? We have Mr. Doug Singleton, who's the one of the chairman of the county commission, and. Doug, there's been a lot of conversation recently about whitewater out there. Listen, first let me say I love the idea. And I went out there the other day. I never saw the water because I didn't know where I was going. I went in there and I turned right. And one thing I did notice out there, though, we do a bad job marketing the whitewater thing. What say you?
Well, we do a pretty good job marketing around the state. Maybe not as much here in Montgomery as we could. Of course, marketing costs money, and people complaining about the money. So, it's one hand you say we need to market it more, and the other hand you say we need to save money. So it's kind of a two-edged sword there, So, but I appreciate you going out there and checking it out. We've had a great summer. We've had record weekends, 3 or 4 weekends in a row. Since we added the tubing on there, people seem like they really enjoy the tubing, and it's something they can do by themselves and not have to do as a group. But it's Whitewater, it catches a lot of flack from people. You hear the people complaining and saying, um, well, it's not making any money, and it's losing money. But I don't know of many businesses that make money in the first 2 years. Most time it's a 3-year plan before you start breaking even on your investment. And if there was businesses out there that people know of that can make money in the first 6 months, please give me a call and let me know what that is, because I'd like to invest in it. And I think most people would too. But the thing, Whitewater, when you do something with public dollars, now privately it would probably not be a great investment, but publicly, when you see the impact it's had on Maxwell Air Force Base, and people, people are always skeptical about that. But Maxwell is our largest employer in Montgomery County. They employ more people than anybody else. It's a 2.6 billion with a B economic impact that Maxwell Air Force Base has here. And I'm not sitting here saying Maxwell's going to stay here in Montgomery or leave because of Whitewater, but it makes a huge difference. We struggle in public education. We're struggling with crime sometimes. We healthcare, we've had some issues going on with Jackson Hospital. So Whitewater is something that we can offer Maxwell. It's right next door to the base. It connects to the gates of Maxwell. If you go out there today, you're going to see families out there from Maxwell walking around with the babies in the strollers and the dog beside them. So quality of life for our people in Montgomery, and especially the people in Maxwell, it's made a huge difference. Again, it's not going to keep Maxwell here. I don't think Maxwell will ever leave Montgomery because of the investment they have. But if the missions they have here decide to relocate, that's where it really affects us. And, I've got buddies and friends and family that live in Selma, and they used to say the same thing. Well, Craig Field will never close. They ain't never going to leave Craig Field. Well, you see what you got out there now. You have a skeleton of what it used to be. And then the next part of Whitewater is the economic catalyst it's been for us here. We've had record in the last 3 or 4 years of bringing high-paying jobs to Montgomery County in these companies. You look at the Inland Port, you look at FedEx, Amazon, Diaglo, Manna, Meta, and I'm sure I missed a couple. But you look at Hyundai's expansion, you look at all that, and I'm not saying they all came because of Whitewater, but I will say directly, I know Manna, when it came down to the final two between Texas and Montgomery, Whitewater carried a lot of that weight in the decision to come to Montgomery. And Meta, I met with Meta 3 times with Meta people. And every time I met with Meta folks, leadership, when they were looking at where to locate, I always met them at Whitewater. They didn't want to meet anywhere else. They wanted to go see Whitewater. So I have to believe that have a effect too on their decisions, along with the great incentives the governor gave for them to come. And then quality of life.
Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And because people have asked me, and I can't answer this question, of course. My name ain't Doug Singleton. So
are you lucky or not?
Yeah, with all the businesses and all the economic impact that you guys espousing because of all the businesses that came to Montgomery, why is it that I don't feel it? I mean, the money's probably there, but I don't feel it.
Well, you're probably not feeling it right now yet, Kevin, because now if you were in the construction business, you would definitely be feeling it. Because everything's under construction. Inland Port's under construction, Manna, Meta, Diaglo, Amazon, FedEx. Some of them are completed or nearly completed. But so you're not feeling it yet, but you will, because they're in the process of starting to hire people. And again, let's just use Manna as an example. $71,000 a year starting salary. And I mean, that's pretty
Mhm.
good money for here in Montgomery, Alabama. So
Yeah.
not just bringing in jobs,
Okay.
paying minimum wage. We're trying to bring in jobs that's going to, provide a good quality life for our residents.
Years ago, Alvin Holmes would do something that I thought was pretty neat. He would ask for these businesses coming in that the majority of those jobs go to people who live in Alabama, or at least the surrounding counties. Is there any kind of stipulation where these businesses, once they get on board, that we don't go out to like we've seen it bring in, we can't bring in police people sometimes, even unless they live out some other city or some other town. Um, would not the people Montgomery, as long as they're qualified, of course, uh, would have priority over those jobs, or is it pretty much an open an open menu there, and they had a right to choose whom they want, which is their business. They do have the right to do that, but don't we want to make sure that the people here benefit from those jobs?
Well, you're right, Kevin, but you can't tell people who they can and can't hire, and you can't say, well, look, you got to hire within a 10-mile radius of the location of. They want to hire locally, and we have to develop the workforce so we can provide them with the people. But when you say out of state, not many of them are going to live out of state. They're going to live as close as they can to their job. Now, they may live in Prattville, they may live in Millbrook, Wetumpka, Lowndes County, or wherever it is, but again, they're going to be close enough to be able to commute to work every day and not have a 2-hour drive. But the people that are coming in here, they would prefer to hire people that are local and close by, and not have people having to commute a long way. Now, we've got to do a better job of making sure we have opportunities for housing. I keep thinking at some point somebody's going to go out towards the Pensacola area, Hopewell area out there, and develop a really nice neighborhood. Probably the challenge there is that the infrastructure is not there yet with the sewage and stuff like that. But of course, I don't have sewage in my house either where I live. I'm on a septic system, which is fine. It works just like sewage. But they would love to hire people from around here, and there's going to be a lot of great opportunities for folks if they want to invest in themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true too. Okay, so we got what I know what Meta is Microsoft, or it's I
Then
guess
it's Facebook. Let's just say
Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay,
That makes it simple.
Facebook,
Yeah.
right? And the other people who you're saying, who are the other people who are?
Mana and Diaglo, they're locked at the hip. Diaglo, I can't even pronounce it. Diaglo, I always get the bad, but they produce beverages,
Okay.
alcoholic beverage, a lot of alcoholic beverages. Mana is the company that packages those beverages. So, let's just say Diaglo, they produce fine Kentucky whiskey, or they produce some type of sports drink or whatever it is, power drink. Mana, which is connected to them, will package it and distribute it out.
Okay. So and I guess we got FedEx or UPS or somebody else is out there too.
FedEx is out there. Amazon is out there. That's two of them. The battery plant for Hyundai is out there. Mobis. I've got a whole list of
Right.
companies that have come here and invested in here, and now again, Whitewater. I didn't think when we started Whitewater that it would ever make money. And people say, well, why in the world would you do something that's not going to make money? Well, why do we do baseball parks for our kids to play in? They don't make money. Our softball parks, they don't make money. Our zoo, our Shakespeare, our museum, our Vaughn Road Park, Gateway Park. Those are quality of life things that you have to provide for the citizens, and you don't do it based on how much money they're going to make, because they're not going to make, you're not going to make money on. And I'll be the first one to tell you, when they talked about doing Biscuit Stadium downtown, Riverwalk Stadium. I was one of the biggest advocates against it. And I said, that's horrible. I don't think that's a great use of taxpayers' dollars. I was critical of it, not openly raising because I wasn't in politics at the time. But I was against that. And man, was I wrong, because you look at what it has done to be the catalyst for downtown. And here's the other thing, Kevin, and we got to keep in mind too, with Whitewater is 1.2 million people drive down Maxwell Boulevard every year, excuse me. Most of them are going to Maxwell Air Force Base. And now instead of seeing blighted property on both sides of the road, we've got it on one side still, but the other side, they see the finest outdoor recreational facility probably in the world. We just had Olympic people here last week looking at it again for Olympic trials and bringing all these world-class competitions here to Montgomery. And soon you're going to see a hotel being built there. Possibility, we're very close in negotiations with a restaurant to go in front of the Whitewater. And I've had conversations with people on the property across the street. So, you know, you look at what Riverwalk Stadium did as being the catalyst for downtown development. I'm hoping and looking forward to the day that Maxwell Boulevard is prosperous. And we did something for the west side of town. You know, people always say, you don't do anything on the west side. Everything's on the east side. So this is on the west side of town. So we all need to support it, go out there. It don't cost anything to go out there. You went out the other day. It didn't cost you a dime to walk through those gates. Now, if you want to participate in the whitewater rafting, the water sports, or the zip lining, or the rope climbing and wall climbing and trails, biking, hiking, and all of that stuff, yes, you have to pay a fee. But just to go out there and listen to music, it's no charge at all. And we hope people will realize that it's a great place to take your family.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it would suffice to say that Whitewater Park is still a work in progress.
It's always going to be a work in progress. Yes, it's going to continue. Looking forward to trying to add some entities for our really young people. I'm talking about the ones, 5, 6 to 8 years old that maybe be too young now to get on the rafts and then the canals that we have, but some stuff for them and areas like splash pads, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I only have one criticism. It's okay to market all over the world, but you know what? I live here in Montgomery, Alabama, and I like to be invited out there by signage going down Maxwell Boulevard too. I'm just saying, we might want to make the people in Montgomery feel kind of special also.
That's duly noted. And
okay.
Duly noted. I want you and my buddy Don to come out there and enjoy it together.
Well, there's some.
Hey, we need you back on the radio, man. We got to get you back on the radio.
I know. Well, as soon as I left Cumulus and went to another station, but that didn't work out. That was like a marriage. That marriage didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, we need to get you back on Cumulus or somebody like that needs to bring you back.
Yeah, they do. But if it's to be, it's to be. If not, me and Mr. Podcast here, we doing all right. We can do better, but we're working on it. We're work in progress. Okay. Anyway, appreciate it. You coming on and having a conversation with us, Doug, singing that he had to go. But it is. I went out the other day. I kind of liked it out there. Now I never saw the water because I didn't really know where the water was. Okay. What it says, none of these places Doug mentioned has the operating cost that Whitewater has. But then again, Greg, listen, it's new. I mean, it's new. I would imagine at some point, it may take 5 or 10 years, but at some point, it is going to make a little money. Again, like you just said, a lot of things we build have something to do with the quality of life and not necessarily to make a dollar holler. Okay. I'm just saying, everything's not going to make money. Okay. Okay. With that. Well, listen, if we can give $3 million to Live Free, and I haven't figured out what Live Free does yet. We gave him $3 million. Okay, so I mean, what can I tell you? I rather put that millions of dollars into this water park, because I just think it's a great. I went out there the other day and it really was, and that's only the part I saw. But it really was. Now I don't know if nobody said they don't want to see a woman. Democrats making excuses for the failure of policy. I would agree with that too. Now if my good friend is still out there, he can call, but he can get back in if he wants to. Right now it is 8:25 in the morning. But anyway, you got the lowdown on Whitewater Park. People always, I mean, people are going to whine about that for as long as they can whine. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I like it. I think that eventually it will be an asset for the city of Montgomery and for the state of Alabama. Okay, so I'm good. But again, a lot of those places, and one of the reasons why we can't feel, and I just didn't know, I just didn't know, I didn't think about that, because a lot of these businesses that are new to Montgomery are still in the building process. Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook. A lot of these places are still in the building process. So if you're in construction, you're probably you are probably getting a good check. If you're waiting on me, waiting for the job, then it's probably going to be a minute or two. But hopefully, at least somebody. Um, okay, here's another Democrat making excuses. You have to consider the sexism may have played a role in both times. But not really. You gotta put somebody there, female or male, that has the qualification, that has the temperament, and has the history of accomplishment. And therein lies the big problem there. We want somebody who's historic, has a history of accomplishment, or had at a minimum has put their butt on the line for this country. That's why I was all for Hegseth being Department of Defense guy, because Hegseth knocked in doors. He did what I didn't do. He knocked in doors and put his butt on the line. So if he listen, and people talking about he like alcohol. Well, you get shot at, and not knowing whether or not you're coming home the next day or not. You get shot at. See if you gonna drink something. So again, I don't look for perfection. We just look for the pursuit of it. And Hillary Clinton was not one that I could vote for. I couldn't vote for whatever her name was. I forgot her name already. She don't know my name either. Whatever, who was running with Biden. She was not the kind of person. She did not have the experience, in my mind, to run this country. Okay, she had $1 billion. She raised $1 billion to run for office and still owe money. How in the world can you run for $1 billion? You raise $1 billion, first of all, and lose. Secondarily, owe money when it's over. Where'd the money go? I mean, $1 billion. They want, that's the highest. That's the most money raised by a party in the history of America. The Democrats came up with $1 billion and they still lost. That lets you know that something in the milk wasn't clean with her. And I don't care. She's not gonna run again. Even if she ran again, though, I'd just be sitting back with popcorn watching her lose one more time. She just and she really didn't have any core values that I didn't say. Political value. I don't want to get into her private value, but political value. We really didn't know. She wanted, the one thing she really wanted to do was to charge people taxes on what their house may appraise for. Okay, what they think it's worth, not what they say it's worth, what they think it's worth. Okay, they don't want to do that. Anyway, I got to take a break. What is this? Taxpayers gave Whitewater $1 million from the county. The taxpayers gave $500 from the city. When does it stop? It stops when it's finished. It stops when it's finished. So what do we do? What are we to do? I mean, seriously, what are we to do? Do we just say forget it now? Do we leave? So the baby's coming out, right? The baby's coming out the woman, and we say, well, that's what some doctors do. They prevent infanticide. So is that what we do? Do we kill the project when it's beginning to breathe, it's beginning to breathe. At least there are actually people going. Now, if nobody went out there, I can understand what y'all saying, but there are people going out there. I went out there personally Friday and saw them. Okay. So anyway, who's this big C? Kamala Harris would have run this country perfectly fine with her fine self. Yeah, well, okay. I didn't yeah. Yeah, I didn't think she was all that fine, but that's just me. She wasn't my type. So, okay, listen, I got to take a break for a couple minutes. Got to take a 3-minute break here, and then we'll come back to talk to some of you folks to whatever else you want to talk about. You can call in if you want to, 521-2963. I got the number right there someplace. At least I had the number right there someplace. So we shall return uno momento. So hang loose. We'll be back in a few minutes. I got to go get my glass of milk. What can I tell you? Got to have milk. Milk is good for you. It does the body good. Okay, we'll be back in about how many minutes? About 3 minutes. Yes, we'll be back. Hey there, hey. Jackie, one of the reasons why we evidently the Facebook likes to shall we say pretty much fine you for using some of that music, and just it's a pain in the absolute butt. But I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. And so we can listen to some good music, because I do play the best music in town. That's only because I go all over the country, all over the world to find those old songs, that are old music that tells a story. Even church music, I like church. I like music that actually tells a story, not just makes noise. Okay, I just can't handle it. I like to understand what they're talking about. Okay. Okay, she really ran this country perfectly well. Okay, then if you believe that, that's cool. This is America. Everybody's entitled to an imagination. Okay. Let's see. Greg's complaining about giving Whitewater money. I don't. Again, I understand where everybody's coming from, but I still think it's a quality of life thing. Doug knows he's a loser too. Again, though, that's what they said about the river walk. They said the same thing about Riverwalk. Nobody thought it was going to do any good either. So why not? Okay, I'll tell you what we need to do. What we need to do is have a day when we all go out there, we all meet up out there, and we go. Okay, we go on the what that thing they call it? We go on the balloon thing, whatever it's called, the tire thing. That's what we need to do. Okay, I'm just really okay. Anyway, I didn't get an opportunity to really talk to Joe the way I wanted to, but he'll be back. Him and I are gonna have our little roundtable. Now tomorrow we are going to have the mayor on, the mayor of the city of Montgomery. Okay. Now today there's going to be a city council meeting today, and I believe I have the information right here in front of you. Lessons of life today, and if you remember this, you're gonna be all right. If you remember this one lesson of life here, you're going to be all right. Okay. And that lesson of life is this: sometimes standing up means standing alone. It's okay. And if you haven't done it, at some point in your life, you may have to. The question is, are you willing to? Are you willing to stand alone even if you know you're right? If the whole world is telling you that you're wrong, like the Democrats do, if you're willing to sacrifice and tell the world you're right, that you know in your heart, in your mind, in your soul you're right, are you willing to stand up and fight for what you believe is right? Okay. And so at some point in your life, it is going to happen. Okay. It is going to happen. I just know no way around it. As you go out into the world and meet people and things of that nature, some people that you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to stand up by yourself. So that is the lesson of life that we teach today. Sometime in your life, you may have to stand up by yourself. Well, ain't no may, you will. And if you haven't done it yet, you will. But that makes the difference between regular people and heroes. Is heroes do what they have to do. Comfortable people do what they want to do. Okay. William Halsey said one time that there are no such things as extraordinary people. He said there are ordinary people who are asked to do extraordinary things during extraordinary circumstances. I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. We're all the same. We all get up. We all go to the bathroom. We all do the same thing, but the only thing that makes us different is what we're willing to do. What we're willing to do, and politically, socially, spiritually, what are we willing to do? But before we get to any of that, we have got to tell you about what's going on at the city council meeting tonight. So the meeting tonight starts at 3:00. That's the work session. After that, then you'll get into other things, okay? They're going to approve the July 15, 2025 work session meetings. They're going to approve the July 15 regular council meeting minutes and the approval of the July 25 special council meeting minutes. The mayor will bring his message, also public communication on agenda items. Now, to address, okay, if you want to go down there and talk before the city council, I think it has to be You got to be on the list. I think. Let me see. Public to address the council during this time, the roster must be signed before meeting begins, indicating agenda item numbers that you want to discuss. So, if there's something on the agenda that you want to discuss, you have to make sure you get down there sometime today and sign up for it. Okay. Consent agenda. Consent agenda items not for discussion by council or public, just vote by council. And these are some of the things that they're going to vote on. Family Guidance Center is going to get $338,000 and $338,368. Community-based violence intervention and prevention initiative. I don't know why we keep giving money away to people like this when it ain't stopped the violence, but okay, we got money. And so I thought that's why we got Live Free. We gave them $3 million. 1.7 from the county, I think 1.3 from the city, or vice versa. Metropolitan United Methodist Church doing business as the Beacon Center. They do great work. $240,000 going to them. Community-based violence intervention and prevention initiative. Everybody, well, listen. Everybody using the word violence and prevention, but y'all, I think y'all losing that fight. Eat South. I don't know what Eat South is. Never heard of it. $161,925. Community-based violence intervention and community-based violence intervention and prevention initiative. So everybody's getting a lot of money based on violence. It's not working, guys. It's just not working. Although hopefully y'all feeding somebody. Event sports properties, we're going to give them $226,000. Game day operation for ESPN college football games. I think I'm better. I'm with that one better than some of the other stuff. Old business, a 30-day review of Infusion Lounge, which is on Troy Highway. I guess they got to come before the council and to make sure that they're doing the right thing. Number 6, application for retail beer and retail license for wine off premises, doing business as the Bottle Paradise on Carter Hill Road, Bottle Paradise 3 Incorporated. A hearing on proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 13-2003 for the property located at the south side of Ray Thornton Road, approximately 2,600 feet off Park Crossing, aka 1740 Ray Thornton Road, to remove restrictions recommended by the Planning Commission, RZ-2002-026, whatever that means. Y'all got it. Hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning of 10.65 acres, and that is going to be somewhere like the end of Larkin Lane at R60, whatever that means. You go ahead and see what that means. That's boring to me. Hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning 75 acres located on the south side of Selma Highway, approximately 1,800 feet west of Felder Road. Go down and see about that. Hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning property containing 1 acre located on the west side of Lower Wetumpka Road, approximately 500 feet north of Williams Drive, and I guess they're going to turn it into something else. New business. There's an ordinance granting a license to Faulkner University to construct, install, and maintain an aluminum fence and brick fence columns on a portion of row on Atlanta Highway. An ordinance granting a license to the University Church of Christ to construct, install, and maintain an aluminum fence, a brick fence columns of row, whatever that means, on Atlanta Highway. An ordinance amending Appendix C, Article 2, Section 4 of the Code of Ordinance, certificate of occupancy required, whatever that means. But if you're involved in that kind of thing, you know what it means. Resolution, number 15, resolution authorizing mayor to execute an abatement agreement with Old Cloverdale Village Holdings, LLC. Number 16, resolution authorizing Mayor Reed to make application and to act as city's official representative in HUD grant. Okay. And that grant's going to be $871,494.88 in Home Investment Partnerships Program. Matter of fact, I saw the mayor yesterday on TV. Evidently, we are putting some old folks' homes up. I need one of those, so y'all hold out one for a brother. Just make one. I'm gonna put my application in for one. I wonder is that like Section 8? Number 17, resolution authorizing Mayor Reed to make application and act as city's official representative in connection with HUD's substantial amendment to approve another amendment under its home okay, whatever, that's boring. 18, application for a retail, this is where I like to get to right here. Application for a restaurant retail license for Posh Fog LLC, doing business as Posh Fog on Eastern Boulevard. An application for a restaurant retail liquor license by A&A 65 LLC, doing business as Holiday Inn, Montgomery Airport South. And, we need some more air. We need some places to eat out there by that airport too. I'm telling you, because when people come in there, they're gonna be here for a layover. Look like there's really no place to eat, so we need to put a restaurant out there. Okay, whoever's got the money. Let me see. Application for a restaurant retail liquor license by VYBZ LLC, doing business as VYBZ at 5761 Atlanta Highway. Number 22, application for a special retail more than 30 days liquor license by IHP Montgomery Beverage LLC, doing business as Elevation Convening Center and Hotel, 600 Montgomery Street, downtown. Number 23, application for a retail beer and retail table wine, off premises only. Licenses DB, doing business as Montgomery LLC, or doing business as Desi Brothers on Malcolm Drive, wherever that is. Application for a business license for charter bus service by Anchor Tours Incorporated, 1477 Ohio Farrell Road. It's in the PJ in the county. Okay, police jurisdiction. On number 25, resolution reappointing all members of the Emergency Communication District Board of Commissioners. Hey, I should have been on that board. I'm trying to get on another board, but I want a board that would they actually do something except just show up. Number 26, resolution appointing Mimi Evelyn Johnson to the Board of Trustees, Montgomery City Council Public Library, by Councilor Calhoun, replacing Phyllis Harvey Hall. I don't even know why we have a library anymore. Nobody needs to go to the library. You can do it all at home. Now, I guess if you don't have a computer at home, but who doesn't have a computer? I mean, you can buy a computer now with Linux on it for $50. I mean, who doesn't have a computer? Who doesn't have a telephone? Everybody. I don't even know why you need this thing, but that's okay. Resolution appointing Antonio Garay to the Montgomery Clean City Commission. Yeah, I lost out on that one. By Councilor Pruitt, replacing Cindy L. Yarbrough. Number 28, resolution appointing Carter Goodwin to the Museum Board by Councilor Samansky, replacing Lucy Martin Jackson. Number 29, resolution designating nuisance abatement agents. Number 30, resolution assessing the cost of demolition of an unsafe structure at various locations pursuant to Section 1153B-1. And these are the locations. Number 31, pursuant to Section 11-53B, authorization for demolition of unsafe structures at the following locations: 88 9th Street, 522 Rosa Parks Avenue, 3011 Fair West Place, 3019 Fair West Place, 3108 Fair West Place, and 5 contiguous parcels known as Maxwell Heights. So I guess we're going to tear them down. One more, 32, resolution declaring public nuisances, authorizing immediate abatement and assessing the cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots pursuant to Chapter 12 of the Code of Ordinances. Okay? And the council as a committee, I don't have anything there right now. Public communication on non-agenda items. This is where you can go down there and if you're not asleep by the time you get done with all this, and you can tell the council what's on your mind. I personally, in Prattville, they do this first. So now here's what I cannot understand. I cannot understand why people who pay the taxes for the city of Montgomery are relegated to last place. Okay, where everybody. Let me show you. I'll show you guys this one. Let me so I can show you this. Let me see if I can show you this. Because see, this irks me every time they do this. It just it gets on my nerve. So we pay the bills. We the citizens pay the bills, but they relegate us to last place. Last place when it comes time to. Okay, let me see if I can find this thing here. In a window here. In a window here. Oh, there we go, right there. Okay, that's what we want to do right there. Let's put this down here. Okay, this is what we want to do right there. Okay, this is what we want to do. No, that ain't what we want to do. See, I'll show you why this upsets me so bad. Okay, we have to go through everything. They get to do everything they want to do, and then at the end of the day, we get to say something to the council. Now, there's something wrong. Okay, there's something wrong with that. With that situation right there. Okay, there's something wrong with that situation right there. I just don't. Okay, let me see if I can share that right quick so you guys can see it. Wrong one. Wrong one. Come on, man. That's not the one. Okay, so let me unshare that, of course. But I got it here someplace. Okay, there we go. Now let me see if I can get it one more time. Share screen, and that would be right. Oh, let's go to entire screen. That would be right there. Okay, there we go. There we go. So as you can see, we got all of this stuff that they have to do, right? The city, all this stuff. And at the very last end, wait, I'm gonna go back up here. At the very end of the day, you see where we are right there? We are the last thing on the list. We are the citizens. We pay the taxes, but the city council, in its infinite wisdom, has thought that it is better that we are last. Okay, we don't get we got to stay there all day long till everybody gets tired, and then we get if we're older people, then we can't seem to get out there. So y'all need to go down there and raise holy hell. Let us do in the city of Montgomery like they do in Prattville. They let us speak first. Let you guys stay there all afternoon. Okay, I'm just thinking. Okay, but see it right there. So I'm not joking. It's the last thing. Okay, the last thing on the list is us. The people who pay the taxes. Ooh, good afternoon, Ajmal, Hanif. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's an insult. It really is. We're sitting there all day long, letting them talk, and we have to be last. Okay, that don't make no sense. That doesn't make you guys a little angry. It makes me angry. I just think that it really it sucks. I mean, like they don't work for us. It's like we almost got to work for them. I'm just saying. It's almost as if we got to work for them. I don't know. I just one man. That's just one man. Stop the screen. That's just one man, and I just think that they need to pay us a little bit more respect. Okay, pay us a little bit more respect. I mean, did you see the list there? 32 things, and we're the last thing on the list to be able to let our feelings be known to our city councilman, rather than being the first thing to be known, and give everybody a strict limit of time, because they don't want to be there all evening. But you get your 3 minutes, and bam, you get to say what you want to say, and it's over. But that's okay. Okay, I'm just saying. You can thank guys like Jamel Brown for putting public communication last. Well, you may be right on that one, but still, Listen, you get your 3 minutes, and if you don't shut up 3 minutes, they escort you out. Okay, I'm just saying. You know, I'm just saying. Okay, don't make us laugh. I mean, we are really feeling screwed, glued, and tattooed as it is. We are really feeling that we ain't got no love. Okay, till governor allows you to play music during your podcast. Till governor, I don't think it's the governor. I think YouTube, Meta or whoever owns Facebook, they don't want you to play it. Now you can come up with some of your own music. I got this AI program. I'm gonna try to write my own songs. We'll see how it works out. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But anyway, so much for that. So I don't know why they got that. Big C, if you believe Carolina had a good show, then shout, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, then. So you got what's going on at the city council meeting tonight. Just know, though, if you just want to go down and tell your city councils what to do, you just got to wait till the end of the meeting. I got to tell Councilman Calhoun. They do. I got a TikTok account too. I didn't know they let you do that. Well, I'm gonna have to do that too one of these days. Well, listen, man, it's getting late. It's almost 9:00. But anyway, okay. So here's my goal between now and Friday: to have 100 viewers. Okay, y'all need to tell people about the show. Okay, because I got to sell advertisement because I gotta make a living here. I can't keep doing this for free every day. So y'all need to tell at least, tune in for a little bit here between now and Friday. We're 100 people. Okay. Thank you, Greg. The meeting is at 3 today. So normally it's at 5. I think you had a meeting at 4, the planning session, but today it's at 3. And so I think there's probably a storm or something like that. I ain't scared of no storm. Anyway, listen, my time is up. Okay. So we're going to let you guys go. Meetings at 3 today. I appreciate that, Greg. Appreciate that. Tomorrow, if everything works out right, we'll have the mayor himself on the podcast from parts unknown. He may be in Chicago or Philadelphia or Spain, wherever he is, but he's going to join us, and we'll talk to him. We had his brother today. I had to cut him a little short there only because I didn't know that. I forgot that. Well, I didn't forget. Commissioner Singleton forgot that he was supposed to be here yesterday. So that's one of the reasons why I never tell people who's coming, because if you do, because of night out, it's August. That's right, August the 5th. That's right. It's a night out, which means that the council people will be at certain neighborhood associations and things of that nature, so they can tell us some more Bravo Sierra and make us vote for him. Like, we're going to hurt that crime. Anyway, tomorrow the mayor will be here so we can ask him about crime and all those kinds of things. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We're going to replay this though later on, probably about 1 o'clock or so. So, y'all can tune in. And if you missed it, the great show with Joe Reed and Commissioner Singleton, you'll be able to catch them at around 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that. And we'll play that then. But tomorrow, if the mayor don't change his mind, the mayor will be here. Okay? Oh, yeah. I'm going to be hard on him. I'm going to be real hard on him. I'm going to be tough on him. I'm going to be hard. When we get there, we're going to call me Nails. Okay? I'm going to be hard. Matter of fact, they're going to call me Hammer. And the mayor's going to be the nail. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be tough. I'm going to be real tough on the mayor tomorrow. I'm going to be real tough. Yeah, real tough. I'm going to ask them all kind of questions. How the kids? See you guys later. How the kids do? How the wife doing? How's everybody going on? Hey, the grass guy cutting your grass really good? Okay. How's that car running? Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I got to go. Okay. So I'm going to be tough on them, though. When I get done that thing tomorrow, they're going to call me Hammer. They're going to call me Hammer. And the mayor's going to be the nail. I'm going to pound on them. I'm going to make them come up with answers. Oh, yeah. Answers for everything. Hey, Mayor. How's your light bill? See you guys later.